The information contained in this video is in the books Geo Omori, O Guardião Samurai, by Marcial Serrano, and Muito Antes do MMA, volume 3, by Elton Silva and Eduardo Correa. George Kojiro Omori, or Geo Omori, born in 1890 in Tokyo, Japan. At the age of 17, he received his black belt from the Kodokan and was a student of Tokuguru Ito. Fought in Germany and Austria and made demonstrations in Hungary. In the USA, he lived in Seattle and New York, participated in professional catch-as-catch circuits. He arrived in Brazil in 1926, and in 1927 he opened a Japanese restaurant in the bairro of Liberdade. But it did not work out, and Omori returned to fight in 1928 in São Paulo, at Circo Queirolo. He opened a gym in São Paulo in 1929. In 1932, he opened one in Rio de Janeiro. He was 5'1" and 147 pounds. Faced capoeiristas, boxers, wrestlers, and jiu-jitsu fighters. Usually won by submission, and did not require the use of gi. He was the first judoka or jiu-jitsu fighter to fight without the gi in Rio de Janeiro. He died in 1938 of food poisoning. In 1932, Omori was considered the highest exponent of jiu-jitsu in Brazil. Without Omori, the Gracies would be nothing. It was Omori who repopularized and raised the level of jiu-jitsu in Brazil. He was master of Carlos and George Gracie. Omori introduced them to MMA and influenced a lot with his judo or jiu-jitsu and catch wrestling. In 1930s, the Gracie family was no longer well regarded because of the lies and coward attacks on fighters Donato Pires dos Reis, João Baldi, and Manuel Rufino dos Santos. Carlos challenged all combat system, but he was unable to win, so asked Omori for help. Omori was in São Paulo and went to Rio de Janeiro. Carlos was Omori's manager for a while. In 1931, Manuel Fernandes, practitioner of Greco-Roman wrestling, said Carlos proposed a combat fight between him and Omori. In 1934, George Gracie says in the newspaper A Noite, Carlos was never a fighter, and as a coach his knowledge was very relative. In an interview for the newspaper A Batalha in 1933, Omori says Carlos is a liar, and Gaston Gracie, Carlos' father, sought him out, proposed a combat fight. Omori refused to lose and proposed a draw and was accepted, but Carlos did not comply with the agreement and wanted to submit Omori in the day of the fight. Omori got out of the arm lock and applied a takedown on Carlos, who hit his head on the ground. Omori said he had to rehearse some moves with Carlos before the fight because Carlos didn't have a good command of the technique. Tied with Carlos in 1930 and tied twice with George in 1933. Ilio omitted information and allowed the creation of a lying version of the history. Omori was one of those who most influenced BJJ along with Sada, Miyako, Mitsuyo, Maeda, Soshihiro, Satake, Takeo, Yano, and brothers Ono.